What's going on? It's Jeff here. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to retire with eXp Realty in 3 to 5 years. And this is a pretty straightforward process, and this video should really only be about 5 or 10 minutes, so definitely watch the entire thing. And since this is such a simple concept, you have to wonder, why don't all agents and investors who are licensed do this? Well, the reality is most agents are not even aware that this exists. Most agents don't really understand eXp or may have heard about it, but don't really understand the full business model. Or maybe they're too in the weeds of their own business and own deal making to even notice better opportunities or to even seek out better opportunities. And then there's a third group of agents and investors that are completely aware of eXp's business model, rev share, everything like that. They just simply don't believe that anyone's actually making any money through this, and so they just stay where they're at their current brokerage, which usually doesn't offer anything like this. So I'm going to break it down in simple and easy to understand examples, and I'm going to give you like a 2-year example and then a 5-year example as well. And most people get into real estate because they want money, like freedom, early retirement, and we can pretty much agree that most agents and investors pretty much don't have any of that. They're working weekends, evenings, even on vacations. Ask a real estate agent how their last vacation was, and I bet they can tell you they were probably working the entire time. Most agents are more or less on a treadmill and just working nonstop, as opposed to building an actual business that has value and residual income coming in, whether they work or not. So I'm going to start by talking about the 4% rule. This is what a lot of financial planners will give you as kind of like a rule of thumb when it comes to retiring. They basically say that, whatever your investment portfolio is, you can live off 4% of that and really not have any worries like for the next 30 years. And as an example, let's say you saved up $900,000, which is obviously quite a lot of money. A financial planner will say you can live off 4% of that, if you put it in the stock market. So that would basically be $36,000 per year, $3,000 per month, which for some people would be a ton of money. For others, may or may not be that much, but it's just kind of like a good amount to have coming in every single month. However, instead of saving $900,000, because we know there's no agents out there saving $900,000, most agents are trying to look rich and flex on everyone with a big house and nice cars. Instead of saving $900,000, there's a much easier way to go about making that same exact amount of income. And I'm going to give you a 2-year and a 5-year example. And these results are not average or typical, but these are just some numbers that you can work with. So if you introduce 3 agents to eXp in your first year that all capped, basically meaning they sell somewhere between like 3 to 7 houses, kind of depending on the price points of your market. And then in your second year with eXp, you introduce another 3 agents. So now you have 6 capping agents, and then those 6 agents each introduced 1 capping agent to eXp. So now you have a total of 12 agents. You would be making $36,000 per year in passive income, in residual income, for as long as they are at the company. So introducing basically 6 agents to eXp versus saving $900,000, I think one of those is going to be a little bit easier. And I'm going to give you another example. This is more on like a 5-year basis. And again, these results are not average or typical, but just so you can see the potential where if you brought some agents in, introduced some agents to eXp, you could be making a fortune. So let's say over the next 5 years, you introduce 2 agents every single year to eXp. So now you have the 10 agents. And then let's say each of those agents that you introduce also introduces 2 agents every single year for 5 years. Now you have 100 agents in your downline. This would bring you $348,000 per year in residual income, assuming they all cap. Now, not all agents are going to cap, but even if we take about half of that number, that is still extremely significant. And the cool thing is that this revenue share system goes on for 7 different tiers. So different people can introduce different people, and on for 7 different tiers. Now, the thing with eXp is that everyone just thinks it's a recruiting company. And look, no one is forcing you to introduce people to eXp. And oftentimes, just being a successful agent, being a successful investor, maybe you're doing something unique like Airbnbs, multifamily investing, or just being big on social media will naturally attract different agents and investors that want to join with you. And even if you just bring in like 1 agent per year for 5 years, maybe you don't want to even focus on doing any of this like recruiting or introducing people to eXp, that is still a significant amount of passive income and basically wealth that you could be building while you're doing your normal business. So think of rev share almost like an added bonus for being at the brokerage. There's a lot of other reasons to join, but most brokerages, I'd say like 99% of brokerages, do not offer anything like this. And this model was actually based based somewhat on the Keller Williams model. So Keller Williams has a profit share model that goes also 7 levels from my understanding. However, kind of like the big catch with that is that a lot of these brokerages weren't even profitable. So with eXp, the revenue share is based on, top line revenue before even expenses are taken out, which is a significant difference. If you ask people at Keller Williams who've recruited 5, 10, 20 people and you ask them what they're actually making in this profit share model, it's very minimal compared to what they could be making with eXp. And the founder of eXp, Glenn Sanford, he actually used to be one of the top Keller Williams agents. And the whole reason he started eXp was because he was doing something like 50% of the deals in this one Keller Williams office. And he was like, look, I should get some ownership, I should get some equity, I should be making some more money because, I'm the one basically doing all the deals here. And from my understanding, that Keller Williams office, the franchise, because it's a franchise model, it offered him something like 1% ownership, even though he was doing like 50% of the deals. So he was basically like, look, screw that. I'm going to build a brokerage where it like rewards agents, gives them more incentives, gives them ownership, gives them equity, rev share, early retirement, stock options, different things like that. And so you can see how with the eXp numbers, it really rewards agents for building the brokerage. It's almost like if you had your own independent brokerage. In fact, it's actually more profitable than if you did have your independent brokerage. Adding agents to your rev share is going to be significantly less of a headache and much more scalable than if you had an independent brokerage. eXp is in every single state, and it's also an international brokerage. I don't know exactly how many countries, but it's like we're adding new countries every single year. So basically through social media, or maybe you just know agents in Hawaii, Texas, wherever, maybe Portugal, I know that's one of the countries. You can add agents basically under you in the eXp model nationwide and worldwide. If you were to try to do that with an independent brokerage, I can't even imagine the headache that would involve. You would have to get brokers licenses in every single state in all these different countries, like insurance requirements, offices. It would be a huge headache. And let's just say that you ignore all of my advice completely and you go and build your own independent brokerage. Well, even if you build a successful independent brokerage, they're not that profitable to begin with. Like the multiple that independent brokerages sell for, I don't know the exact multiple, but it's not very good. And then a company like Compass comes along and makes you an offer, but then you have to pay like the cap to them every single year, which can be very significant. Then you also can't even do your own personal branding. So then you're just back to having your own independent brokerage. However, I'll tell you this as well. The amount of multi-millionaire real estate investors and real estate agents who have said, never start your own independent brokerage. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. It's like those things you hear in real estate over and over again, like, location, location, location. Well, another one is never start your own independent brokerage. It's not scalable, it's not profitable, and it's a complete headache. And one more thing to add on to that is like most independent brokerages you see, it's just like, Bill's brokerage, Bob's brokerage, and it's like 1 or 2 agents, and they've been doing this for like 10 years. The real estate agent business is a very disloyal business. I know it sounds bad, but agents are just going to go to where they can be offered more. So if you're an independent brokerage, you can't really offer an agent that much. Maybe you can offer them a good split, maybe like one-on-one mentorship, but eXp, you can offer the agents so much more. I know an agent, I think they had like 50 or so agents in their brokerage. And like any brokerage, they were trying to grow it and they're trying to like recruit people. And, when they presented, what they could offer to different agents, it was something like 5% of agents would actually want to join with them. However, once they switched their model over to eXp, because eXp offers them so much more, they were able to bring in like 30 to 40% of the people that they talked to about eXp would actually join. And the reason for that is like eXp can offer revenue share, which an independent brokerage can't. They can offer stock options. They can offer 50 hours of live training from some of the top realtors in the world. They can offer a virtual campus and on and on and on. And with eXp, it also does matter who you join with. So for example, for people that join with me, if you're interested in joining with me, there's basically 3 main things that you could get access to. And this obviously is in addition to all the revenue share and technology and everything like that. So the first would be a weekly mastermind. And this is mostly for real estate agents, but it's led by a real estate agent who sells over $500 million per year. And they're some of the top realtors in the world in this mastermind group. And so if you're looking to build your agent business, I know a lot of people watching this video might be investors, might be agents, but if you're interested in building your agent business, this is a great resource. There's coaching programs you can pay $10,000 and $20,000 per year that don't offer this type of access. In addition to this agent mastermind, you'd also get a one-on-one weekly mentorship with myself. Now, why would you want to be mentored by me? Well, currently I own 5 multifamily properties. So if you're interested in the multifamily investing space, I can be a great resource for you. Also, if you're into social media, I have about 15,000 subscribers at the time of this recording. So if you're looking to build your brand on YouTube, I have the largest DC area real estate YouTube channel. If you're looking to build your social media brand with YouTube, I can be a great resource for that. So if you're interested in any of those 3 things, agent mastermind, multifamily investing, or building your brand on YouTube, then definitely reach out to me. Use the link below to book a quick call, and we can have a conversation and see if it would make sense, for you to join.